For our Minecraft world, we've now built the desert, the jungle, and of course my favorite, the village, but we've been forgetting one huge part of the game, and that's everything that lies beneath the surface. I've been getting requests for me to do the Lush caves since episode 1 of this series, so I think it's about time that we give it a try. It's a relatively new addition to the game, but it has so much to offer, and I think it's going to translate really well into LEGO. As cool as it might look, I'm anticipating a number of challenges when it comes to the size of this thing. How will we fit it under the existing modules? We'll see what we can find out. So, without further ado, let's get started. We'll start out with the 16x16 base plate. For our palette, we first need to figure out stone, which is probably exactly what you'd expect it to be. It's just a dark bluish gray block. Now, while the regular kits typically go with light bluish gray, I think dark gray is a closer match, and it allows it to contrast nicely with light gray, which we'll be using for our clay block. For the moss blocks, keeping it simple green. Water's a little more interesting. First of all, it is not the typical 5 plates tall. It's going to be a brick tiled off on top in a trans dark blue. The azalea bush, this seemed like the best way to do it. Can't go wrong with this. Flowers and plates. For the drip leaf, I'm going to be putting one of those new tri-leaf pieces on top of a 3-long bar piece. Using this palette, it becomes pretty easy to build up the bulk of the cave. It's really important to me that we smooth this roof off as best we can, so we're going to be utilizing a lot of snot construction. But before we get to that, we got to populate this with axolotls. These guys came in a pretty recent set, the Guardian Battle. You get 3 different colors. It's absolutely wonderful. Very specialized mold with a printed 1x1 plate for the head. We'll pop these guys all over the place. They had a lovely splash of color. For the roof, it's gonna get crazy. We've got all sorts of green snot sections here, and as you can see, it's just a block. It's all I'm attaching to the wall. And we'll do this in a number of places to slowly curve the roof upward. Now, 2x2 tiles don't exactly grow on trees, so I want to be a little more efficient. For some of these that have the vines hanging down, I will be using completely upside down construction, but for the rest you can see it's actually sideways there. Those are 2x2 tiles on the side. And just like that, we have our cave. But really, why would we stop at 1? I had to do another one because we're still missing a number of elements, I think, and it just didn't feel completed without a second module. And of course, there was no glow squid. We need a glow squid. The glow squid was also included in the Guardian Battle set. I do like LEGO's rendition of them, and we get a lot of those unusual, rather new colors, plus a printed 2x3 tile for the face. I designed these 2 modules with the intention of putting them underneath our desert. That's why we have some sand and sandstone in the ceiling, as well as that dirt for the edge of the jungle. For some reason, just adding the original modules on top makes a world of difference for me. It really feels completed now. My favorite part of these videos, though, is connecting these to the other modules, and that's where we're gonna run into problems. This ain't doing it for me. Attaching it to the top also does not work. I was left with 2 options. I could build caves underneath all existing and any future modules I would make, or I could bridge this gap with a cliff of some sort, and that's the route I went with. For one thing, I don't have enough gray pieces to make caves underneath all these modules, especially that village one, holy cow. And secondly, I think this adds a lot more visual interest to terrain that has otherwise been pretty flat so far in the series. Things are looking much better. It's a much more natural transition. The panda has a lot more room to breathe, and so does the jungle, but there's one thing that I still hate, and it's this wall. One of my viewers left a rather simple suggestion in the comments a few days ago, but it kind of stuck out to me at this point in time. A cave entrance. That's exactly what needs to go here. It makes so much sense. And yes, that meant it was time for another very drastic renovation, taking out that wall and making a nice cave entrance. It really helps this model flow together. And with that, I think I can finally say we are done and ready to attach all the modules together. I wasn't intending to add any width to the thing this episode, but of course that just seems to happen regardless. We definitely got some good height out of it. Oh wow, it's my face. Already at episode 4, our custom Minecraft world is starting to feel like a world that's inhabited with all sorts of mobs, and it's big, and there's so much variety. But we are far from done. There's still so much more potential with this series, so as always, please leave your suggestions down below. We've got lots of blank walls to add on to in the future. There's a lot more mobs and accessories that still need homes, and I still need to be convinced that I should destroy my original LEGO Minecraft layout. Thank you as always for watching. Up next time will be a snowy taiga biome. Can't wait to share it with you. And till then, have a great life.